This is Charlotte from Delain.
This is Otto from Delain.
This is Joey from Delain.
I'm Timo from Delain, and you're geeking out to Gear Gods.
What's up, Gear Immortals? Trey Xavier here. On today's episode of Rigged, we're going to be talking to the Dutch symphonic metal band Delain. Check it out.
I'm Timo Somers, lead guitar player for Delain. Right now we're on tour in North America and we are in West Hollywood. We're playing in the Roxy tonight, and we have 2 more weeks of touring coming up, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my guitars. This is the main one. It's an Aristides 080S. It's a Dutch guitar brand. It's made out of composite material, so no wood at all. We save the environment step by step. No, it just sounds good, actually. And it's very stable. It doesn't move with humidity or temperature changes, so that's really cool. It has bare knuckle Aristides customs in it. They're loosely based on the Holy Diver and something else. Probably the Black Emerald, actually. Yeah, 5-way switch, easy, volume tone, some wounds from the tour. This is all easy. I used a Dunlop Super Bright strings. This is an 80, 62, and this is 52 to 10s. And for my, lack of being clean, I use a Gruff Gear fret wrap. And that's it, locking tuners. My name in case I get too, wild to remember. And that's the main. For backup, live, I use the Aristides 070 with Fishman Fluent's Tosin Abassi set. Really, really awesome set. Actually, this is my main studio guitar usually as well, but I take it on the road for backup. I have a 5-way, but actually 2 and 4 are the single coil voicings on this one. This is the push-pull for the main voice changes here. That's all hip shot. Ridge-Light fretboard, just like the other one. No wood, again. Same old tuners. So, I do the charging through this because I don't keep track of batteries. So I think that's the guitars right now. At home I have several other ones that I use in the studio, but live it's mainly the 8-string because, we have one song in drop G, and I was too lazy to tune down, so I was like, let's get an 8-string. But now we do a solo thing that I actually use the low string. And so that's it, Aristides guitars.
Do you have an Aristides tattoo?
I just got it. So in case anyone wants to endorse me, you have to get a shitload of money now. Yeah. I'm running the Aristides guitars. I'll just go from signal and run it through, so to a Korg DT10 tuner, because I'm old school, and has a good buffer. And I'm lazy to buy a new one. That goes into a Taurus Dexter Octaver, which I use for some leads because on the album we usually double it. But for live I use the Octaver. Then goes to a noise gate, the MXR Smart Gate. Then I use an EBS stereo chorus, but I just use it to split my clean signal, so it's actually not on, it's just bypass and splitting. That goes to 2 Rev G3 pedals that are my main distortion sound. Both of those go to in the TC Electronic Mimic pedal, the Mimic Doubler. It's like a fake stereo pedal, but it's super convincing. Like, it sounds super close to like double-tracked guitars. So, and that splits to 2 Rev D20 amps. Their new pedal platform-based all-tube head, and it has the 2 notes torpedo software in it, so it's still a direct setup because I was using Campus before, but it's still as portable. So it goes directly to the PA, and you can change the caps, you can change the mics, you can change whatever you want. And then I actually also have a solo boost, even though the Rev D20 is just 1 channel, because on the 2 notes presets you can change whatever, like the caps or the mics. So I boost in level, I change some mics, and that's my solo boost. Then I have a Seymour Duncan Dark Sun, thank you Mark, in the loop, and that one changes with the MIDI. So like my lead patch is literally MIDI 2, and it changes the caps, boosts the level, and adds the delay in the loop. So it's still very similar to like an all digital thing, but it sounds, to me, it's everything that I missed in like not playing tubes. At home I play tubes like in recordings and all the projects, but with these kind of bigger tours, it's easy to have just a small rig, and this is as small. It's stereo, all tubes, and I'm super excited about it. Yeah, and it will probably blow up right now, but yeah, no, it's awesome.
Here are our custom mic stand. We thought the white with the perforated steel looked really cool, and they also have an extra feature, being that they light up. Ooh. So they can go different colors, and they can also go along with the floor plan of the lights on stage, which is pretty cool. We've got these for me, and then we got the boom stands for the guys, because of course they need some extra space for the guitars. And yeah, these are just custom made by Rebel, custom company from the UK, and they've done several things for us. We always like to give the stage these extra little touches, and some of them we have made. Some of them are actually made by our bus driver Ken, who's a hero. He made some like signature little hummingbird, and we've got some light up hummingbird from the stage. So we try to be creative in the sense that we can have like our own stage setup, no matter how large or small the stage is, that it has our little signature on it, like wherever we go. And these things are just great for that. Also, they're very sturdy. We've had this for a while. This one was actually a gift of our American fan club, and it came in a beautiful case saying the American mic stand of doom. So we'll cherish that forever. So basically we all work with in-ear. So we have our belt packs right here, and we all have our earpieces. Some of us use custom, some of us use just a standard, Shure or whatever you can get. I work from the iPad, which basically lets us control our own mix, the levels, the EQs, but also like I can put some effect on my voice. Like if it's a very dry sounding venue, I'll put some reverb on my vocals just to make it sound a little bit more live. Well, for me personally, it's a very good experience. I mean, it's not the most rock and roll, but it gives you a lot of control over your own mix. It gives you a lot of control over your voice and not over screaming yourself, which I think is a lot of singers' problem. So I'm very, very happy with this system. So as you can see, I've used this for a very long time. It's kind of beaten up. So the bottom is the Shure, and then the top is the DPA. And you can control it here. And the on-off button is hidden, which is nice, so you don't accidentally turn it off on stage, which I may have done with a previous mic.
Hey everybody, my name is Otto Schimmelpenning. I'm bass player for Delain. I'm here to talk gear today, so let's start with my basses. At this point I use Dingwall combustions exclusively, and this is the Nolly Gatwood signature model. I adore these basses. I think the build quality and the price is exceptional. They are made in China but completely set up in Canada. I own a Canadian Dingwall as well, but this is up to par really, and I love the sound of it, and I really do love the fence fret because it gives you a longer scale on the lower strings, which is good because we play A sometimes. Usually it's A, sometimes even G. So you do want to get that extra tension on the strings. And I have sort of big hands, and it kind of follows the natural direction of your hand, I would say. The weight is great. So I've had this one for quite a while. And just recently, Dingwall have released a limited edition, which is this one. This is my gig bass at this point, although I do alternate. The main difference is, obviously, this one has 3 pickups, so it gives you wider range of sounds to choose from. It also features a special preamp by the guys from Dark Glass. I do have it on, but as I have all the controls set to neutral, it doesn't do that much. For me, it's really about the extra pickup and the looks of the bass, because I really, really like it. So that's all I can think of my basses. Strings, I use the standard Dingwall strings. They are not the thickest, but since the scale is pretty long, they'll do. I do know in this particular scale, because I think the lowest string is 37 inches, you need Kalium strings that are pretty expensive, but if you want to go down to even lower tunings, that will be your best bet. So let's move on to my amps. As you can see, this is a very modest setup, to put it mildly. I basically just have 3 pedals and that's it. That's all my sound. First off, I have a Patterson tuner. I love those as well because they are extremely fast and very easy to read out. They're very accurate as well. So I just use it for tuning, but the good thing is this particular one also has a DI. So in case the radio would fail, which will be the first one in the world, I guess, I always have a spare DI. So I also have a DI box. It's a passive DI because it gives me plenty of signal and I don't need to fiddle with phantom power or batteries. And I have the Sansan bass driver. The Sansan bass driver, it's a pretty well-known pedal, I'd say. It's a distortion pedal. It's a lot of drive to your signal. I also like the high end it gives to your sound. It gives a very definitive, even if you play fingerstyle, it will give you the pick-like tone because there's a lot of detail in the sound. And the way I used to set it up, or the sound engineer set it up, is that I used the Sansan as the main sound, and he would use a low cut on it because it was a bit wobbly in the low end, and he would use the regular DI for the low end. Nowadays, with this Sansan, it's a newer version, actually the low end is so good that I think he hardly ever uses the DI signal anymore. But we have it there anyway. Also, if you do recordings, for example, live recording, it's super handy to have. So that's it, a super modest, very easy to carry setup. But Delain, the only sound we have on stage is coming from the drum kit. We have no amps, so there's no sound on stage. We do play with the in-ears. That's my last piece of gear, I'd say. I use in-ears from Cinepack, a Dutch company. The drivers they use in the in-ears, I think there's only 2 or 3 manufacturers in the world that actually make them. So he doesn't make the drivers, he just makes the mold and puts the drivers in. The good thing is he has an exceptional price, and what I like is that your ears will change with time. So even if you have custom-made in-ears, after 2 or 3 years they will start to leak a little bit. And they're pretty expensive, they're like $800 or something. So normally you would just have to buy a new pair, but he can actually get out the old drivers and mold them into a new set of in-ears, which will only cost you like $200. And that is the reason why I went with Cinepack from the Netherlands. That's all I have to say for now, I guess. Thanks a lot for watching.
Hi, I'm Joey from Delain. I'm the drummer. We're actually using a Tama kit and Meinl cymbals. I'm using a 14-inch Bubenga snare, Dyna Sync twin pedal with me, which is really awesome. It's really direct, and I like it. The thing I like to talk about is my China, actually. It's the Matt Garska Equilibrium China, if I said it correctly. It's like really punchy and short, but heavy at the same time. It develops my sound, and it's really cool. My main crash is a Pure Alloy 18-inch. It's like the new Meinl series. It's awesome. They're very clear and they have a really cool tone, so I love it. I have custom-made Tama sticks with my name on it because that's fucking awesome. And I'm using 2 22-inch bass drums, like 10, 12 toms and 14, 16 floor toms, just because we wanted to save some space, not using the 16, 18 floor toms. I'm using the Shure 215 in-ears, like really cheap ones actually, but they do the job and they never break. That's awesome. Hardware is the newest Tama stands actually. Like they don't move, they're really easy to adjust, and yeah, they stay in their position. So all I could ask for as a drummer, because you have to, like we're working with 2 drummers actually with kind of different setups. So you have to really change the stands easily that they lock in position, and they do that very well. I'm really glad to be able to use this Tama kit. So that's awesome.